You don't have to suffer in order to get what you want. Living life, understanding, oh, okay, I don't want to just go through life and somebody else is controlling it for me. I don't want to just go through life and it's just on this script that they wrote for me since birth and I've just been following it. I just know deep down in my core, there's supposed to be something going on within my life. There's supposed to be something different. Like there's a different way for me. There's a different life for me. And I know that, this is a part of that process. This is a part of the process that a lot of people, they either get stuck at a certain stage or, they just don't end up realizing it. So if you're watching this video, that means that you are wondering how to further expand within your life. Like you're already in a certain stage and maybe you've been in that stage for a while and you're wondering, how can I break through this stage? Like, how can I make it to the next stage? What is it that I'm not seeing? What is it that I'm not understanding? And a lot of times it's this right here that people miss out on. The reason that I know that is because when I was in that stage, that was something that I eventually ended up realizing was the key. And then once I got that, I started to understand how this specific thing works. A lot of people believe that they have to control things. What does that mean by controlling things? Things going exactly how you want them to. You know what I'm saying? Things happening exactly how you want them to happen. And that's where people end up getting stuck at, where they think that they have to force things to be a certain type of way. Where does that come from? People feel like they need to control things. You don't need to control. What you need is trust. Instead of controlling things, what you need to do is trust. What does any of that mean? Wants, needs, and desires. If you're controlling things, that means that you are trying to force things to be a certain type of way. You're trying to force things to happen a certain type of way. And a lot of times, just like any other area of your life, you see, when you try to force things, it doesn't work out the way that you think that it's gonna work out. It's not gonna feel the same. It's not gonna give off the same type of vibe. It's not gonna be what you ultimately wanted. And people end up finding that out the hard way. But you don't have to find out the hard way because you're watching this video. You think about how it will happen. Anytime it comes to wants, like how you're going to get something that you want, how you're going to get something that you need, how are you going to get those desires, you know what I'm saying? You try to think about how it's going to happen for you a lot of times. Then you can't figure it out. You end up realizing, okay, you can't figure out exactly how certain things are going to happen or in what way certain things are going to happen. And you're like, okay, what do you do from there? A lot of times people get stuck at this. They can't figure out how something's gonna happen. Like they're trying to predict how it's gonna happen. They're trying to guess how it's gonna happen. They're trying to figure out how their wants, needs, and desires is gonna come into their life. And they just go ahead and start doing things themselves. Instead of accepting and letting it be, they decide to forcefully make something happen a certain type of way, and a lot of times that leads to a path of misery and suffering. But you don't have to experience that. You can suffer less and get what you want. You don't have to suffer in order to get what you want, and a lot of people that get in that they can't figure it out stage, instead of just accepting that they can't make that prediction of how something's going to happen, they end up suffering even more. That comes from a place of not, what did I say earlier? Trusting. They don't have the trust. They don't trust that the things that they want, need, or desire is going to happen. And they feel like they need to, if they can't figure it out, like just by thinking about it, or they can't predict it, rather than sit in that unknowing, you know what I'm saying, and put in that trust that it's going to happen regardless, even if you don't know exactly how, you just have that knowing within you that it's going to happen. They go and they do any and everything in order to get that, you know what I'm saying? Which can result in some people, like I'm sure you've seen, where it's like, okay, say the problem is money. They desire this amount of money. They desire this type of car. They desire this type of house. They desire this type of job, you know what I'm saying? And you might see some people that will break into cars or like rob people, and they get in that type of energy. And this is not for every situation, this is just an example, but that's what I'm saying. Like they feel like that is the only way for them to get it. They're gonna take matters into their own hands and control the situation to go and get the thing that they want, when ultimately that's not really what you wanted. It's just not gonna work out, obviously, is what I'm saying. So the let it be part, how do you let it be? Well, you let it be by letting it go. You see this little drawing right here? That's you. This little thing right here, that's your wants, needs, and desires, and you're letting it go. You're literally tossing it. You're literally tossing it out of your hand, and you're letting it go, and it's falling into the water right here. You're letting it go. You're tossing your wants, needs into the water. You're literally putting it out. That's just a representation of you putting the energy out of, this is what I want, this is what I need. Not need in a desperate way. This is just something that you desire. The universe, divine source, and God. So hold on. So the water is a representation of the universe, divine source, and God. You know, whatever you classify it as, that's what you're going to be letting go, letting all of your wants, needs, and desires, and giving it to the universe, divine source, or God, in the sense that you are putting your trust in the universe, divine source, or God, versus you just trying to forcefully, do it yourself. And at the bottom of this says collective consciousness. Collective consciousness is also a part of that. And I wanted to save this part to actually draw within the video. So what is collective consciousness? Collective consciousness, right? Collective consciousness is literally everything and everybody around you. Anything that, any living being with energy, anything that has energy in it, anything in creation, right? That is here is a part of collective consciousness. Why is that important? It's important because if I'm saying you give your wants, needs, and desires, you let it be, and you give it to the universe, divine source, or God, or collective consciousness, because that is all a part of the same thing anyways. It's literally a part of the same thing. This means that your wants, needs, desires, right here, is gonna come to you in a way that you don't know, but know that it will be divinely guided. God does it, universe does it, collective. You know what I'm saying? You understand that it's gonna come through some way, somehow. We are all here. We all have that energy within us. You know that it's just gonna happen for you. And because we are all connected like that, you'll start to pick up on, I will always say this in my videos, you will pick up on those patterns, bro. You will start to see it and understand that stuff just be happening, and it sometimes doesn't make sense. You couldn't have predicted it. And that's the literal point. What is the purpose of predicting it if in the end you're gonna get what you want anyways? There's no point. It's a matter of you calming yourself down, getting whatever it is that you are dealing with not trusting, getting all that together so that you can put that trust in what you need to put your trust in, and just continue with life and let it be and continue to move forward, you know what I'm saying, and flow. And that's what this says. This literally says zero expectations, and it's pointed to the word flow, which is by water. The water is pointing down to this interaction right here. This is a flow state right here, where this is you letting it be, by letting go of your wants, needs, and desires. You're allowing universe, divine source, God, collective consciousness to handle the hows and what way and all of that. All your job is to have that desire and to have what your wants, needs. That's all your job is, to literally have that and then to let it go. That's all your job is, you know what I'm saying? And to continue to go through life, and move forward. Everything else in between is not your business. And once you get in the habit of that, you'll be in a flow state. You'll be in a flow state. And you'll start to pick up on that, and the momentum of certain things just happen faster and faster. Now, I did this video because, obviously, as somebody who started to figure that out, I was like, okay, I understand that the process that I went through, I have understanding of this now to the point where I'm able to explain it. And so that's exactly what I should do. because this might reach the person that it's supposed to reach. And that might be the key to them going ahead and figuring it all out for themselves too. You know what I'm saying? Where they're just continuing to be in that flow state. But if any of this was helpful, or if you resonated with anything I spoke about in this video, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing so that this video reaches someone who may also need to hear this message. Thank you and bye.